Yes, sir. So I think everyone is here. So, sir, after.
Should I start?
Yes, sir. Sure. First of all, thank you so much to come here and giving your precious time.
Yes. Should I share the screen?
Yeah,
No,
yes,
it
sir.
has been
Yeah,
disabled. It has been disabled. You'll have to make me co-host.
yeah, sir. Wait a minute.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine.
Now you can say.
Good evening, everybody. I hope I am audible to everyone. If I'm not, you can let me know by unmuting yourself. What I have been told is you are all final BDS students, most really going into exams in coming August or September, whenever it would be due. So you need some guidance regarding how you need to prepare for medicine in dentistry. I have been taking lectures for medicine in dentistry, so I'll be able to guide you. If you have got few uh, individual problems or individual queries, you can post it to Nirmal and he will ask me. We'll try to solve most of the things just now, or we'll be doing it at a later date. Another proposal from my side is if you have got multiple people have got issues about the same topics like rheumatic fever or somebody has tuberculosis is not able to understand or bronchial asthma. So in that case, we can take about 7 or 8 lectures in coming 2 months, 40 minutes each at my convenient time, most probably Wednesday evening. So that is another proposal from my side. But till then, first of all, Dr. Urbandru, welcoming you all uh, to this lecture. As I'm here to speak, I will speak. Most of my slides will be a little funny. Only one slide will be very useful, but I'll take a little longer time in that slide. Otherwise, you can enjoy, or you may go to sleep if you are tired. You can run away from the presentation, leave Zoom anytime, but don't get angry. We'll finish within 40 minutes because at 40 minutes the time was going to be over. So don't ask when he will finish. So despite all these things, I'm going to speak. Alone may not be fair. So we can have interaction also. Whenever you need, you can stop me in the form of smooth dialogue or a hot debate, whatever you like. But always continue to laugh. First of all, disclaimer, I am running online classes for medicine for dentistry, but this lecture has not been organized with any professional intent. It is solely to guide you students. So welcoming all to the Department of Medicine. Your speed does not matter. Many of you might not have even started medicine. Don't get worried. Still you can finish if you continue to go forward. So don't get panicky, don't get tense that I have not started medicine and I cannot finish it. You can always do it. There are two views of looking at it. One is passing the exams, which is damn easy things, very, very easy things. So don't get worried about the exams. Number two is passing in the life with medicine in dentistry. It is too tough. You require enough time for the same. So what are we going to discuss? We are going to discuss English first. You all must know how to speak. That is very, very, very important. Communication, very, very important. Because the only way you can impress an examiner in Viva or in examination, even when it is a written examination, is how do you communicate. What are the spots that you want your examiner to read in a theory paper? And that is solely in your hand. Remember, none of the examiner is going to read every line of what you have written. Of course, that does not mean that you start writing the story of Ashiki 2, but you should start writing about the topic. But wherever you are very, very sure that this is completely related, wherever you are very, very sure that it is related to your answer, and wherever you are very, very sure that this is something which is the thing that examiner wants. Like for in bronchial asthma, in definition, we always say that it is a disease which is self-subsiding or completely recoverable or completely it gets resolved on its own. So you know that that word makes a huge difference. So whenever you know, you underline that word with the same ink. You don't need to use different ink, and that is communication. You can decide, just as in a T20 match, a batsman can decide where a bowler is going to bowl by shifting his stance. Same way, you can decide what you want your examiner to read in your paper, and during Viva, what you want your examiner to ask you. It is solely up to you. For example, if you are presenting a case, you can start a 56-year-old male, so and so and so and so. And the moment you come on examination, patient looks pale. Now, if you are very sure that you are completely prepared with anemia, then take a pause at pale. And the moment you take pause, examiner will jump. How do you say it is pale? What are the implications? What are the causes of anemia? What are the classification of anemia? How will you treat anemia? The rest of the things would remain differently and the viva would go on anemia. So this is how you can direct your examiner to your knowledge rather than getting directed by the examiner. So that is very, very important. Good professional habits is something that you must learn. And of course, in addition to all these things, medicine for dentistry. Why a dentist should know medicine? Number one, you are going to be awarded a doctor degree, so you must know it. Symptoms may apparently look dental in origin, but actually the disease is elsewhere. And what would be an ideal time to talk about this, except this, when mucormycosis, a systemic disease, may present with a toothache or pain in the jaw or pain in the nose or a nasal discharge. And we go on thinking that it is a solely an ENT complaint and turn out to be a systemic disease where you require lots of surgery. So you know symptoms may apparently look dental in origin. We have seen so many patients having toothache which subsides on sitting or taking rest and turns out to be myocardial infarction. So that's another reason why you should know the medicine. All system and diseases are interrelated, and not knowing medicine could be disaster because a patient comes to you, you have kept rheumatic fever as an exemption, that I'll leave rheumatic fever. अगर पूछा जाएगा तो कोई बात नहीं, छोड़ दूंगा, पास तो वैसे भी हो जाऊंगा. So you have not read rheumatic fever. And when a patient comes to you, you forget to ask about rheumatic fever, you operate upon that patient, remove the tooth, and 2, 3, 4 days later, he comes back with swinging temperature and turns out that patient had subacute bacterial endocarditis. So these are the reasons why you should know medicine. A beautiful relationship is a journey from me to we. So my strong suggestion is never read alone. Make a group, at least of 2 people. How does it help? By making a group of 2 people, 3 people, you cut down your job. One person reads hypothyroidism, the second person reads rheumatic fever. The person who reads rheumatic fever prepares it thoroughly, talks about it, gives you the note. You prepare hypothyroidism properly, talks about it, gives the note to your colleague. And then there is another way of making a team that we'll see later on. So ethics is very, very important. I'm not here to talk about ethics. We know what is patient. Patient means sufferance or forbearance. And that's why patient remains in the center of the medicine. And therefore, my strong suggestion would be to go to the hospital once, twice, thrice and talk with the patients, communicate with the patient. And to know this throughout your life, the thing that I'm writing, primum no nocere, to help or at least do no harm. Always remember this. This is the principle on which the whole medicine, whether it is dentistry, surgery, obstetric, gynec, pediatrics, everything runs on this to help the patient or at least to do no harm. And that was created by Hippocrates, the oath of whom you are going to take. Another important reason why you should know medicine is because these are the days when the doctor is not only managing the patient, but he has to manage the patient's relatives, politician, media, everything. And that's the reason why you need to talk and communicate not only with the patients, but communicate with the relatives also. You should have duties towards patient, colleagues, self, family, and society that we can take later on whenever we are. But the important thing is don't burn your opportunity for a temporary comfort. So I'll prepare 4 questions and I'll pass. That ends the story of third BDS. I'll go to fourth BDS and that's more than enough for me. No, you are going to be a doctor and it is your practice within your consulting room or at your service which is important. And that's why don't take shortcuts, neither during this examination nor during your life or during practice. And these are different unethical practice. I'll skip it because you may not be interested in it today. So the important thing is this, even in Viva or whenever you are practicing with the patients, explain to the examiner or to the patient whatever you know and accept whatever you do not know. Whenever in Viva, examiner starts asking you, okay, there is a long systolic murmur. Give me the causes of long systolic murmur. Now the examiner is going to be with you for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. Within that 10 minutes, you have to show what you know rather than showing your ignorance. So the moment you realize that I do not know the causes of long systolic murmur, your immediate answer has to be, accepted, sir, I do not know the causes of long systolic murmur. Take him to the another compartment. Rather than saying that I think it is mitral stenosis, no, sir, is it this? So you start asking questions to the examiner and that irritates him more because his next statement would be, am I the examiner or you are the examiner? Why are you asking me? So accept whatever you do not know. Sir, I'm sorry, I do not know the causes of long cystic murmur. The matter ends there. It would not affect your merits. But if you continue to bluff, that would spoil your 2, 3, 4 minutes, and at the same time, it would create a very wrong impression on the examiner. So you are the sculptor of your own destiny. Coming to what you are interested today is your examination. So how to prepare? Just as your family members, your parents are regularly making an income expenditure graph, how much I am earning and how much I am going to use, spend. Same way, start planning from today. Settle a date for examination. For example, 16th of August. So I need to finish before 16th of August. Today is 3rd of June. So I've got July and August, 60 days plus 10 days, 70 days. I will divide them into 3 parts, 3 subjects. So for medicine, I'm going to get 20 days. Out of those 20 days, I'm going to read 8 hours a day. So 160 hours I'm supposed to finish medicine. Start planning. Very, very important. Once you start planning, once you know how much time you have for preparation, only then you can allot time for the subject. So start planning and follow that planning. The planning should not be like our government, but planning should be like a dental student who follows it vigorously. I'm going to read 8 hours. Today, 20 days begins for medicine. So day 1 and 2, cardiovascular system, day 3 and 4, GI system, because these are the two systems from which maximum questions, long questions are asked. Then one more day for respiratory system, one more day for endocrine system, one more day for infection. Start creating that way, planning. How can you make planning? Only if you know what is your curriculum. So go to the website, open your curriculum, third BDS medicine. You know there's an absolutely perfect curriculum given in your website. So look at it, look about the long questions. There are two columns in your curriculum: must know, optional to know. Forget about optional to know if you are starting from today. If you already started reading medicine, then you can afford to spend some time for optional to know. But otherwise, must know topics, look at the topics, look at the marking system, and accordingly to give time and make your plan. Look at the past papers, papers of last 3 years. University papers are there on your website or on Gujarat University website also. So look at those papers. You are all much more intelligent than what our generation was. So you will be able to pick up common long questions. Just have a look at 10 papers and you will be able to know that cardiovascular system, only 4 questions are generally repeated. GI system, only 7 questions are generally repeated. So 7 plus 4, 11 topics you have to prepare for long questions. So just open up the 10 papers, find out what is common, and you will be able to decide with the help of curriculum and past papers about your planning. And once you have planned out, it would become very easy. My strong
Sir,
suggestion would be to
sir,
use,
excuse me.
yes,
Sir, some people are unable to join the meeting. So, as you are host, please add some
okay,
people. They are waiting.
okay, I admitted them.
Okay.
I'll go on admitting
Thank
them
you.
as and when I see. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
So another important thing is audio visual devices. So we were reasonably lucky to have recorder with us when at least I was studying LLB after my passing MD. I did my LLB when I had a recorder with me. But this generation, you have got enough storage devices, and along with the storage devices, you have got audio visual devices like mobile phone with an attached pen drive. You all, most of you will be using the phone, that is the phone where you can attach a pen drive. So start recording whatever you read. Suppose you have read hypothyroidism today, then open the paper, look at what is the question. The question would be, write down the definition, etiology, diagnosis and management of hypothyroidism, 7 marks. So whenever you read this, 7 marks, so immediately you should know what examiner is anticipating. Definition, 1 mark, etiology, 2 marks, then the diagnosis, 2 marks, and management, 2 marks. Automatically you know. So for each mark, you should write at least 2 to 3 lines. Then and then it would be fine. So what you can do is read the question and then start answering it and record it. Why record it? It's going to do 2 things. Whenever you can record by reading also. Open your book, read and record it. How it would help? And remember, this has been done by very good students in huge number of cases, and all of them have realized that this is the best way to remember, because if you read, your only one sense is utilized, but if you speak it out, then 2 senses along with brain is utilized, and that keeps you remembering the things much more. And the third thing, whenever you want to read the same thing again, you have to simply switch on your mobile and read it. You can read it while lying down, you can read it while traveling, you can read it on your auto or on your two-wheeler, wherever you want. Even in a party, you can put just like the devices in your ear and you can listen to it. And the fourth and most important thing, if Dr. Dhruv speaks, I remember 30%. But if I myself listen to myself, I remember 80%. So if you listen to yourself, the whole lecture given by you only, you will remember it much easier. So you have read, you have spoken, now you are listening to yourself. And the fourth and most important thing is you have learned how to communicate because you have started using English. So audio visual devices is the best way to do the thing. आगे मैंने आपको बताया कि टीम बनाओ. So this is where the teamwork would also help. One person would record hypothyroidism, second of your colleague would record rheumatic fever. Exchange kar lo, listen to them, go back to your own devices. So this is how it works, and it would cut down your most of the efforts to half or 1/4, and would improve the memory by about twofold. So start using it rather than reading, and you all know reading is very, very boring, very, very boring. Reading second time is all the more boring, and reading third time is very, very boring. So rather than reading, start recording whatever you are going to listen on the day before examination. वो सब टैप कर लो. That is the best way to do the thing. Topics requiring understanding. There are certain topics which require understanding, like cardiac cycle. You cannot cramp it. उसे रट्टा मारा ही नहीं जा सकता. So those topics, take the help of your seniors or teachers and उन सबको अलग कर दो कि ये 10 टॉपिक ऐसे हैं जो मुझे समझ रहे हैं. ये 10 टॉपिक अगर आप समझ गए तो आपको याद रखने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी, बिकॉज यू हैव टू राइट डाउन द डिस्क्रिप्शन दैट यू अंडरस्टूड. यू डोंट नीड टू रिमेंबर. तो ऐसे जो 10 टॉपिक है 40 में से वो अलग कर दो और उनको किसी के पास सीख लो. बिकॉज व्हेन द व्हाई इज क्लियर, द हाउ इज वेरी इजी. स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग. पेशेंट के बारे में बोलो, पेशेंट के साथ बोलो, कलीग्स के साथ बोलो, एंड एवरी टाइम स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश. जब भी मिलो पेशेंट कलीग से, तो रादर देन टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट आई डिड टुडे और रादर देन टॉकिंग अबाउट द टीवी सीरियल, उसमें तो गालियां बहुत थी, ऐसा कुछ करने के बजाय पहली 10 मिनट तुम हाइपोथायराइडिज्म पढ़ के आना, मैं रूमेटिक फीवर पढ़ के आऊंगा. पहले मिलेंगे तो ये बोल जाएंगे, बाद में सब बातें करेंगे. फायदा, यू स्टार्ट कम्युनिकेटिंग विथ योर कलीग्स, you start respecting your colleagues, and you start remembering the topic. Same way, पेशेंट से जब भी जाओ पेशेंट के बारे में बात करो और आपके कलीग से भी बात करो. टुडे आई सॉ अ 50-year-old male who was admitted at LG hospital with so and so complaint. Because this is what is going to help you not only in the exam but also in the practice. And you should read what you are going to read finally. तो ऐसी कोई कोशिश मत करो कि चलो हाइपोथायराइडिज्म मुझे 3 बुक में से पढ़ लेना है, और मानो कि मेरी बुक में अगर 6 पेजेस है तो मुझे 6 पेजेस रट्टा करना है. ऐसी कोशिश मत करो, ये किसी से भी नहीं हो सकता. स्टार्ट ड्रॉइंग लाइंस इन योर बुक कि मुझे आखिर में इतना ही पढ़ना है, ये 20 लाइन ही महत्व की है और आज भी मैं 20 लाइन ही पढ़ूंगा. एवरी टाइम आई रीड, आई विल रीड ओनली दोस 20 लाइन, और आई विल रिकॉर्ड दोस 20 लाइन एंड आई विल लिसन टू दोस 20 लाइन ओनली. तो जो आपको आखिर में पढ़ना है वही पढ़ने की कोशिश किया करो. सॉरी, दिस इज समथिंग फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस स्लाइड. सो दिस इज माय नंबर, यू कैन नोट इट डाउन. आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है तो आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप करके पूछ सकते हैं. व्हेनेवर आई विल बी फ्री आई विल रिवर्ट बैक टू यू बाय फोन. सो सिंपल एज इट इज. बिफोर आई फिनिश अप, फॉर वांट ऑफ ए नेल, नेल यानी कि खीली. एक सोल्जर के पास खीली नहीं थी. खीली नहीं थी तो क्या हुआ, उसका शू टूटा हुआ था, उसको लगा नहीं सका. A shoe was lost. He could not wear the shoe. A warrior was going for a war. शू टूटा हुआ था, खीली थी नहीं, तो वो शू पहन नहीं चल सका. We all know कि अगर शू नहीं पहना है, for want of a shoe, a horse was lost. You cannot ride a horse. बिना शू के बैठ ही नहीं सकते, आपका पाँव छिल जाएगा. Then for want of a horse, a war was lost. Most of the time, we lose the war in the examination or during practice just because of very small things, minor things that we neglected while we were preparing for our exams. So, I suggested you the best possible thing. I hope कि जैसे ये सम चालू हुआ उस तरह से मैंने सिंपल रखा है, न कि ये बच्चे की जो हालत हुई है ऐसी आप लोगों की हुई होगी. So rather than creating confusion at the end, I hope I have tried to solve and help you out. So medical students and for that matter dental students in the afternoon lectures are like renal tubules in acute tubular necrosis. They lose their ability to concentrate. तो ज्यादा मैं नहीं बोलता, यहाँ पर मैं रुकता हूँ और your questions are welcome. We'll talk through Dr. Nirmal. So Nirmal, you can take over and ask me the questions, whatever you like.
Yes, sir. So anybody have question, then write in the comment box so we can directly see that. Okay.
Don't get worried. You can ask anything that is silly. हाँ, आप लोग एक दूसरे को पहचानते ही हो, so don't feel कि मैं ऐसा पूछूंगा तो एक गलत होगा. You can ask anything and everything. So and you can unmute yourself and ask also. No issue. अगर लिखने में दिक्कत होती है, you can unmute and ask. Somebody has written it was an informative lecture. I'm not interested in giving you information. I want it should be useful to you. And there are only two reasons why there are no questions at the end of a lecture. Either you have understood everything or you have not understood at all anything. I presume you have understood everything, but you can ask questions because this gentleman Nirmal has made tremendous effort. Guru Dutt has made tremendous effort to help you out. So try to take the advantage of that help. What books can be referred to for clearing the concept? Your textbook is more than enough. It is one of the best textbooks that I have ever seen. So you don't need to refer any other books. Absolutely don't try to do it. If you don't understand from your book, ask your teacher or you can ask me. But don't try to refer the medicine books of the books that are being used by medical students. That is not for you. Nobody anticipates that type of information from you. So don't get worried. What is expected from you is a fluent communication. You should be able to communicate. As far as the practical examination, I do not know they would be taken or not. Most probably they would not be taken. But if they are taken, practical examination, the examiner doesn't want you to be correct in diagnosis. The examiner doesn't want you to be correct in management. What examiner wants is, are you able to follow the mode of examination? So start with name, age, sex, presenting symptoms, past history, personal history, drug history, menstrual history, then followed by a standard sentence that we use in examination. On general examination, then a standard statement, and then on systemic examination, I have decided to examination GI system because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons, and on examination of GI system, on inspection this, on palpation this, on percussion this, and on auscultation this. Now, on auscultation, you may say peristalsis were not heard. Even if peristalsis is heard, examiner would not mind. What is expected of you is the technique of examination, sequence of examination. Nothing more than that. Your findings may be absolutely wrong. Your diagnosis may be completely wrong. But you should be able to go one step by step. Whatever has been written in clinical examination, you should be able to follow it. मान लो कि एसाइटिस का पेशेंट है आपके पास आया and you have examined instead of GI system you have examined respiratory system. The examiner would not mind as long as you can justify why you examined respiratory system. Sir, these are 4 reasons why I examined respiratory system. Okay. How do you examine respiratory system? Inspection में ये 6 point, palpation में ये 6 point, percussion में ये 3 point, और auscultation में ये 4 point. So this is what is expected from you. So don't go and try to read the case paper of patients in the examination or even in clinics. You are not supposed to diagnose. You are supposed to know the method of examination.
So they are asking that how to write a 7 marker question, like point wise.
થોડુંક માઇક દૂર રાખ મને નથી સમજાયું.
So they are asking that how to write 7 marker question.
How to get?
How to write 7 marker question in format.
How to write 7 marker question. Generally, in a 7 mark question, you will be able to pick up the things very easily because examiner would have in the question paper would have divided the question into 4 or 3 titles like definition, diagnosis, and management of bronchial asthma. Right? So definition automatically is 1 mark and diagnosis and management becomes 3 each. So you should be able to know कि definition में मुझे 3 lines लिखनी है, nothing more than that. And then diagnosis. So bronchial asthma के diagnosis में pulmonary function test मुझे डॉक्टर ध्रुव साहब ने बताया कि वो नहीं लिखी तो कुछ नहीं लिखा. एक्सरे का कोई रोल नहीं है. Rest of the things have not much role. But the pulmonary function test is a must. So I have to write about, so 3 marks is for diagnosis. तो उसमें से ऑटोमेटिकली अगर आपने पल्मोनरी फंक्शन टेस्ट का टाइटल भी मारा है, यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट 1 मार्क. और अगर पल्मोनरी फंक्शन टेस्ट के बारे में 3 लाइन सच्ची लिखी है, then you will get 3 marks directly. So you should be able to read the questions and then you will be able to automatically divide. कि भाई definition के marks management जितने तो हो नहीं सकते. Management always to be divided into preventive and curative. And trick fever. Preventive medicine management, curative management. Preventive, take how to prevent and trick fever. Take good hygienic food, use the boiled water or a proper water, stool hygiene. After going to pass the toilet, wash your hands with soap. So that is preventive. Preventive always includes vaccine if it is infective. So take typhoid vaccine. तो ये प्रिवेंटिव हो गया. अब मैनेजमेंट 3 मार्क का है, उसमें से प्रिवेंटिव का 1 मार्क होगा. उसमें आपने 4 चीजें लिख दी तो 1 मार्क सीधा आपका होगा. नाउ 2 मार्क्स फॉर क्यूरेटिव. क्यूरेटिव में आपको व्हाट यू टू राइट इज द ट्रीटमेंट, फार्माकोलॉजिकल ट्रीटमेंट, नॉन फार्माकोलॉजिकल ट्रीटमेंट. So pharmacological treatment you can write down कि भाई cefixime 400 milligram twice a day for 14 days. So you'll get 1 more mark. And then there would be non-pharmacological treatment. What does non-pharmacological treatment contain in management? Diet, rest. So diet के बारे में 1 लाइन लिखो, rest की जरूरत है कि नहीं उसके बारे में 1 लाइन लिखो, and एक लाइन लिखो when to get hospitalized. तो ये non-pharmacological हो गया, इसका 1 मार्क. So start dividing. Management is always divided into preventive, curative. Curative is divided into diet, rest, and pharmacology. So this is how you get the marks. This is how you reply to long questions of 7 marks.
Sir, in examination, spotters have so much importance in marking system. So, sir, if you have any spotters slide or anything, so they can.
What is
be-
spotter? They have not seen spotters. What is spotter?
The spotter means all the things which are kept on the Viber table, like needles and all.
Okay, they have not seen.
Catheter
So
and everything.
Rice tube catheter. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes. sir.
So there I cannot help you. I can take a lecture and show it to you. That can be done easily. We can manage a lecture if all of them agree. Next Wednesday, 9 p.m. We can show you the regularly used work procedures and the instrument.
Okay, sir.
right.
Thank you so much. Sir.
You can help them out by creating similar link next Wednesday 9 p.m. Then we can go ahead for about 1 hour. I can go for work procedures and the instruments that are commonly asked in the examination. Anything else? You can write your questions here if you want to ask.
Sir, one question is that, according to you, how many days are required for students like us for completing board medicine?
what kind of cases are frequently asked in the practicals? There is one more question I read. Okay, commonly the cases that are asked in the practicals are ascites, jaundice, hepatomegaly, ascites, jaundice, hepatomegaly. Next time you can remind me, I can give you the list. Ascites, jaundice, hepatomegaly, pleural effusion, Bell's palsy, and then mitral stenosis. These are the common 6, 7, 8 cases that are being asked. Nobody goes for acute cases. Bronchial asthma, nobody would ask. Pneumonia, nobody would ask because they are acute cases. They are not getting exposed to you. So commonly these are the things: hepatomegaly, jaundice, ascites, pleural effusion. Right? These are the cases. Very cold cases. What did you ask? You asked something which I failed to find.
I posted in comment.
How many days are required for completing the course?
One of them is asked.
Say, you, for a person who adore Sunil Gavaskar, I would see a 5-day test match cannot match a 2020 game. But now there are people in Singapore and West Indies who are playing 10-over game. So anything is possible. That I told you that there is no question of if you are having examination in August or September, the question does not hold true. How many days? If I say you require 3 months to finish the curriculum of medicine, don't have that time. So look how much you have. पछेड़ी देख के ही अपनी सोने की तासीर नक्की करनी चाहिए. So just as that way, decide how many days you are having and then divide it into 3 parts because you are having 3 subjects and then accordingly you can do it. But if you are asking me, generally we take online lectures, or when I was coming to AMC college, we needed 60 lectures, so 60 hours, which included the 50 lectures plus 4 rounds to the hospital for general examination, systemic examination of GIT, respiratory system and CVS, and then 4 lectures for X-rays, ECG, what procedures, etc., etc. That's what we follow at present also in our online course. But at present, I don't see you have got enough time, so you have to finish it within the stipulated time. So I think 20 days should be ample for you to finish medicine at present if you got 60 days only before examination.
Time is left. So please, anybody have a question?
So I'm posting my number again here. So in case of anything, just WhatsApp a message. Don't call me because I may not be able to pick up the phone very regularly. And whenever you send a WhatsApp message, see to it that you introduce yourself as a dental student. So you can write down that I'm a dental student and I am interested in so and so. As I told you at the beginning, as if you are really having examination in August or September, I think the whole batch is having examination in August or September. Am I right? Everybody is having
Yes,
examination. Yeah, okay. So in that case, you don't have much time. So if you can all come out with a proposal of about 5, 6 common topics. As I told you, I can take common topics on every Wednesday for next 5 or 6 Wednesdays at the same time, 9 p.m., which is convenient to me. So you can come with that proposal. One of you can send me a message that we are ready and at least 20, 25 people are going to attend. If it is really going to be helpful to you, then we can take it. But I cannot take the whole curriculum, about 5, 6 lectures in next 5, 6 Wednesday. That may be helpful, like work procedures, like examination, like X-rays, or like any disease that you want me to take, hypothyroidism or rheumatic fever or cardiac cycle or bronchial asthma, which are generally the common things, tuberculosis. These are the common questions that are being asked. So you can take a call on your own WhatsApp group and come out with suggestions and send me a message. One of your representative can send me the message. Right? Okay, I think that's where we stop.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
is it absolutely necessary to write? Hello,
To write.
can you hear me? Yeah, is it absolutely necessary to write all the dosages of the medicines?
See, if you are writing, as I told you, nobody is going to ask a question of medicines required in enteric fever or medicines prescribed in bronchial asthma. Every time somebody would ask, it would be asked as management of bronchial asthma. So, as far as the medicine pharmacology part is concerned, it would never be more than 1 or 2 marks. You are also asked a 7 questions, 1 mark, 7 questions of 1 mark. There also, suppose somebody asks, write down medicine prescribed in enteric fever, then it would be a 1 mark question, right? उसमें टेबलेट का नाम अगर फार्मेकोलॉजिकल नेम सिर्फ एग्जाम आपने करेक्ट बताया है, then you will get half mark. और डोज करेक्ट बताया तो 1 mark. So that is only of 1 mark. अब एंट्रिक फीवर में there are 4 medicines. अब उसपे से आप 1 या 2 लिखोगे और गलत नहीं लिखोगे, then you will get 1 mark. So you should not be very fussy about the doses. गलत नहीं लिखना है. आपने सेफिक्साइम 2 grams twice a day लिख दिया, then you are killing the patient. So your first goal is to do no harm. So write down the name of the medicine. If you remember the doses, that is fine. If you do not remember the doses, avoid it. It's not a must. पर लिखोगे तो examiner would be impressed and would not read your next answer thoroughly. ये ठीक से लिखा है तो नेक्स्ट आंसर में आपको 1 आध मार्क और ज्यादा मिल सकता है, because examiner thinks that you know it. So as I told you, there are limited long questions. 15-20 से ज्यादा लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस है नहीं ज्यादा से. अगर आप वो 20 प्रिपेयर करोगे तो कम से कम आपके पेपर्स में होके 4 या 5 तो उसमें से आएंगे ही. तो उस 5 आई मीन जो 20 जो क्वेश्चन है उसके डोजेस ठीक से याद कर लो. ब्रोंकियल अस्थमा है, एंट्रिक फीवर है, ट्यूबरकुलोसिस है, उसके डोजेस ठीक से याद कर लो. यू डोंट नीड टू रिमेंबर रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर somebody ask you कि भाई स्टोमेटाइटिस की ट्रीटमेंट क्या है, so if you don't write the name of I mean the dose of fluconazole, that's fine, because nobody is going to ask a full question about stomatitis. या तो आपको शॉर्ट नोट में आएगा 2 मार्क की, या 1 मार्क के क्वेश्चन में आएगा, या फिर यू विल गेट अ वेरी टिपिकल क्वेश्चन जो हर तीसरी बार रिपीट होता है, ओरल मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ सिस्टमिक डिजीज. हर तीसरे पेपर में यह आएगा, ओरल मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ सिस्टमिक डिजीज, जहां पर आपको कोई मेडिसिन लिखनी ही नहीं है. तो अब ओरल मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ सिस्टमिक डिजीज यानी 7 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है, विच मीन्स यू नीड टू राइट डाउन एटलीस्ट 14 कंडीशन. अगर आपने 14 कंडीशन लिखी तो सबके आधे आधे मार्क करके 7 में से आपको 6 मार्क दे देंगे एग्जामिनर. पर आपने ओरल मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ सिस्टमिक डिजीज में 5 ही चीजें लिखी है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली एग्जामिनर would be tempted to give you 2 or 3 marks. So this is one question which as a dental student you must know, right? So this is how you answer. So doses याद रखना उतना जरूरी नहीं है, rather than writing a long question, dividing under necessary heads.
Thank you, sir.
Even when I was taking lectures at AMC, I used to note that it is the lady students who are always ready to learn and ask questions, and gentlemen are reasonably more knowledgeable and so they don't ask. Of course, the results never reflected it, but in the classroom, I was always of the impression that gentlemen are all very, very knowledgeable. और यहाँ पर भी मुझे ऐसा ही लग रहा है. I wish it is true. ठीक है? So Nirmal, that's where we
Yes, sir.
finish. You can be a link between us. You can allow them to talk to me directly. I have no issues about it, but just through WhatsApp. Once again, thank you, Nirmal, on behalf of
Yes.
all the students and on behalf of me for taking up such a good initiative, and also thank Dr. Gurudat. Okay.
Thank you so much. much, sir, for your precious
Okay.
time, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm logging off.
Yeah, sir.
Goodbye and good night.
Everyone.